Hey everybody! I hope everybody has had a great couple weeks. Guys had a relaxing weekend. I hope you guys came ready to learn this week, both in this class and in whatever other courses you've got going on. And I hope that the semester is going well, and that as we kind of reach the midpoint of this semester, that you are finding ways to relax and still enjoy time outside of school. So there's just a couple things I'd like to kind of discuss and go over this week. Some of this is regarding past week. Some of it's going to be focused more on this week. So the first thing I just want to mention to you guys is that the 6 weeks grades, this is a 1,000 level course. I'm required to turn those in, and so those were due tomorrow, but I've gone ahead and I've finished up all the grading and got those submitted. So I encourage you guys just to check your grade, make sure it's all at least accurate, and check where you can on your 6 week grade, which I think you can do through the self-service page, and click the tab that says student, and you should be able to check your grade there. So just do that, and if you have any questions or concerns about that, let me know. The next topic is the exams. The first one you guys did really well. I felt like you guys were able to not only follow the instructions, but answer and provide detailed examples and definitions of the concepts you guys provided. So I appreciate that. Like I said, y'all did really well on those, so there really isn't any concerns on that. Our next test will be, I think, week 10, and it's a more general test in terms of it's more of a traditional test with multiple choice and short answer questions and definition matching. So we'll discuss that though more as that time comes along. So then on the D2L page, I'd like to show you a few things. So last week we did discussions via Flipgrid. So we did video discussions. And so anytime I try something sort of new in a class, I try to get some feedback on that. So at the very top of your discussion page, I've provided a section for Flipgrid feedback. So please, 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 I encourage you to provide any kind of feedback on the experience of using Flipgrid for your discussions. Like I said in that little description there of what I'm looking for, it can be positive, negative. You could have an indifferent opinion, like it didn't matter to you, make any difference. All this feedback helps though. It'll kind of help me decide how I want our discussion posts to look the rest of the semester. And it also helps me kind of get an idea of what to do in future semesters. So that's there. So please provide any feedback on that. It's always helpful. So I just want you guys to be aware that is there for you. And so then this week, we have the one assignment, the movie analysis. So I've provided 3 things for you there in the content section for week 7. The first being the movie analysis instructions, the second being the rubric, and then the third is just a example paper from a movie analysis somebody did with the movie Inside Out. So that's just there as an example for you to look at. If you get confused or unsure of what I'm looking for, that's there just to kind of peruse. I will caution you that movie analysis is much longer than I anticipate yours to be, or I'm asking yours to be. So don't pay much attention to the length, but the content and kind of what they discuss. And then it was brought to my attention on the movie analysis instructions and the Dropbox that the dates did not line up. After looking through that, the syllabus and the Dropbox had the correct date, which is Friday, at midnight basically. So before Saturday. So 11:59 on October 6th, 11:59 p.m. So the Dropbox date and time is correct, and the syllabus date and time is correct for the due date on this. So if you looked at a previous version of this movie analysis instructions, it said Saturday. That was incorrect, but it has been corrected, so it should read as October 6th, Friday. So just be aware of that. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. These are fairly long instructions, but I think they help provide a pretty clear picture of what's expected. In terms of references, you're only asked to reference the movie and the book, but just be clear on when you're doing that. And if you have any questions on referencing or quoting, I've provided a link to the Purdue OWL. It's very helpful in terms of making sure you're citing and referencing things correctly. If you do have other references, you can use those as well. But like I said, you're not required to have but the two, the movie and the textbook. And that's really kind of it on that. We will use Turnitin as well. So when you turn this in, it should provide you with a Turnitin feedback score. And that just helps kind of provide feedback on plagiarism. And it helps us as the instructor, but it also helps you to see that you're quoting things and citing things correctly as well. And sometimes you will turn one in and it'll be like, this section's 30% plagiar, but if you've quoted it correctly, you've referenced it correctly, most of the time you can kind of ignore the number it gives you. But as the instructor, it helps us kind of see, okay, where you're quoting. Okay, well, this is, if you're needing help in that department in terms of referencing correctly and that kind of thing. So just be aware of that. You will get that score. This is my third semester teaching it in this course, and I've not had any issues. So just be aware of that when you get that score. Don't freak out if it's high or low or whatever, but it's there for you and for me, and it can be used for many purposes, and it's typically a positive purpose. So I don't want you guys to turn that in and be like, what is this? So that's what that is. And then next week, we kind of move back into a more traditional assignment. So I'll post more on that as the week goes on. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. And please let me know if you have any questions or concerns about past assignments, your grade, this current assignment, or upcoming assignments. Just let me know. Send me an email. I check it pretty regularly, so I try to get back as quickly as possible. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.